Great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. Chicago was in the national spotlight after this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Chicago street race roared down a wet DuSable Lakeshore Drive.
At the same time, the city made headlines after 109 people were shot. We have team coverage of the violent weekend. Let's start with Megan Hickey. And Megan, critics are asking whether the city needs to pick a new weekend for this race.
Right, Joe and Erica. The question is whether police resources were stretched too thin between security at the massive NASCAR event downtown and the 74 shooting incidents between Wednesday morning and midnight last night.
While rain interrupted the NASCAR Chicago street race 2 years in a row, it still brought huge crowds downtown this 4th of July weekend. The same weekend that 109 people were shot across the city, leaving 19 people dead. And this year wasn't a fluke. It's been a historically violent stretch.
Obviously, those were dates that we inherited. We will continue to assess.
Mayor Brandon Johnson was quick to respond that they're looking at the dates and how they'll work for residents of Chicago moving forward. We know exactly how much manpower the event required last year. According to police overtime data obtained by the CBS News data team, 1,233 officers worked NASCAR on overtime, working 19,984 hours. Meanwhile, for the 4th of July duty overall, 518 officers were staffed for 5,325 overtime hours for the 4th of July deployment. About 11% of sworn personnel worked NASCAR in 2023, and 226 of the 1,233 officers were pulled from neighborhood districts to staff it.
We looked at last year where we had a number of officers who were detailed to that particular event.
Superintendent Snelling said this year they scaled down, but we don't know to what degree.
We recognized that we had a level of security around that event where we didn't need as many officers, so we were able to scale that down this year.
And there's still a question of whether the race will continue to make financial sense for the city, particularly during upticks in summer violence.
You know, as far as the overall economic benefit, again, that will be assessed and analyzed.
And the CBS News data team also found that this past Friday, July 5th, was the single most violent day in Chicago history since the unrest in Chicago after the death of George Floyd. In the newsroom, Megan Hickey, CBS News Chicago investigators.
All right, Megan, thank you.